Case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
What's happening, everybody? What's happening? Long time no see. Good evening. Thanks for spending it with old white boy. Couple things real quick before we get into this thing here. Turtle Boy, not the guy that's got arrested, and this dude, not this guy. The guy that sent me a shirt. Got your package. Didn't open it yet because I did promise you I'd do the reveal video. So that's why I'm not wearing it in this live. Next live, I got you. You mail me something, I got you. I will take care of it. Let you know that I got it. Second off, this is a weird Christmas exchange I got. It's called the what's it called? Goofy gift.
White elephant.
No, the exchange, the Goofy gift.
A white elephant thing. It's not a Goofy gift. It's just a gag gift.
Gag gift. On a gag gift exchange, I won this thing, right? I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, that looks like Benny Keys. It's a Benny Keys with a combination of a Where's Waldo, which is interesting because Benjamin has been off the scene. Tell me that does not look like a Benjamin Keys. Like I'll totally rep this on lives and stuff like that. So this is what I got in the gag gift thing. Small peenie too. Small weenie. So it looks just like him. But I want to talk about some serious stuff tonight. This is going to be the last time I talk about Cam and Allie. This is very important live. I'm going to give you guys some of my personal testimony with my struggle with addiction. But I'm going back to the live when he hopped on, and I respond to a lot of comments. If you're subscribed to the channel, you know that. And I really read a lot of those comments on that live, and there is a lot. And I noticed a bunch of comments stuck out to me, so I really want to touch on that. And it's about couples going into addiction. Okay, I can give you some of my personal testimony, my own story with that, but I found a really, 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 really good interview from a very small YouTube channel, and I want to play it, and we'll get there when we get there. It's great, but I want your feedback and opinion on it because a lot of people commented about this subject because going into recovery together is very difficult. But that's it. Last time I did a poll, should I keep, the Cam and Allie stuff going? But I thought about it, not going to do that. I don't want to trigger somebody who is going through addiction or anything like that. I'm just taking advantage of, I know that he's watching this channel. I know he is. We've gone through this. We've talked about it. We've showed the receipts. So this will be a wrap up as far as that goes. I just gave it some thought because I don't want to do damage. But it's been a lot of awareness since that live. Who's up in the house? Also, I want to talk about the Idaho 4 house getting destroyed, demolished. Not so much my opinion. There's nothing. There's no commentary I could tell you that you don't know already or that you haven't seen on the YouTube streets. It's look, the college there demolished. Paid for it, demolished that house. The thing here is, as I read you guys' comments and put them on the screen, I want you guys, your feedback on it. Here's the thing. The families, though, of the families of the victims, the people the girls that were killed, they're not all on board with the house getting demolished. I'm sure they are at some point, but they didn't want it getting demolished before this guy's trial, and they're pushing back on it a little bit. If you look on YouTube, if you look on wherever you get your news from, you're gonna see this everywhere. This case, man, was huge, and it gets a lot of clicks. And man, the media was even clickbaiting stories with the Idaho 4. I mean, everything to do with it. To me, this is my opinion. To me, I think this guy, Brian, I think this is exactly what he wants. All the bloggers are doing it. All the YouTubers are on it. It's anything this guy does is covered and done. That's what he's kind of like a media whore in a sense. And it kind of sucks that he's getting his wish, but screw him. It's about the families. I'm always going to side with the families. The families didn't want the house demolished before the trial because it could throw off the jurors and whatnot. I can understand that 100%, 100%. Shit goes weird in trials, man. And you can take it away from true crime. Even like a basic case. When it goes to trial, people see things differently, whatever else. So I want your feedback, man. Open panel real fast on the Idaho 4 house, the crime scene there getting demolished. What's up, Miss Joanne? How are you? No, it's more intelligent than Benny. Ha ha ha. The doll is? I like that one. I like that one a lot. Hello, Skunk. Hey, was talking to Damaged Goods with you. I was talking to Damaged Goods about you last night. It was good. We haven't received any email from you. I know you've been trying to send me something. Skunk, hit us up. Call us. We love you. But I don't know what you've been trying to send me. What's up, Carol? They each need to separate. We're going to get there in a second, Cherokee Girl. I 100% agree with you on this. What's up, Ghost Devil? What's happening? Good to see you. Good to see you, too. Smash a like as you come in. This is a good comment on the screen right here. 100% agree with this. And listen, the reason I'm going to do this live tonight, back to that live when he hit the link, I've never posted any pictures of this guy's hands. I've never slowed it down and paused to show Allie. I never did that. First and foremost, it was never about them. It was always about Danny. They came, they put themselves, they wanted a link, asked for it numerous times. I gave them what they wanted. And the internet saw what they saw. I'm not mad at anybody who may have took a snippet of the live and showed his hands or I'm not mad at them. I didn't do that though. My point is, you see the condition of these people. Listen, people, common sense. They're using heavy. They're in a motel. So anybody that's been through addiction, anybody knows by looking at them and then hearing that they're in a motel. If you've been through addiction bad, you know the state and where they're at. Some people don't understand it. And that's what this live is about. This interview I'm about to show you, it's very important that, because I read those comments and a lot of people, like Cherokee's comment, there's a lot of people who fully get it, like Cherokee Girl. Fully get it. There's nothing Cherokee Girl 47 saw when she watched that I didn't, or vice versa. A lot of people are like, you guys need to go into rehab, and that is 100% true. But I want to tell people who don't fully understand addiction, there's a little bit of a hindrance there when it comes to couples. Somebody by themselves, listen, man, in recovery, man, it doesn't matter whatever halfway house you go to, whatever rehab you go to, all across America, they do not want you dating. the norm is like 2 years. They don't want you dating for 2 years. They don't want to accept a couple. They want to accept you. They need you to work on you, not we. Your mind gets all fucked up when you get deep into addiction. It does. It really does. So I want to show that part. And also what I found, man, has some personal stuff, with my story there, and I don't mind, sharing it with you guys. What's up, Miss Sally? I don't mind sharing it with you guys. So I found like a perfect little couple that's in deep addiction that's talking about entering a rehab. It's not long. We're gonna get through it, but not only do I have that, but they are at this point in their life because they were using my choice of drugs, which brought me to a deep place. I put a video out about when I overdosed and died. But how I got bad into addiction was from opiates, from blues. And this video that I found is specifically about people addicted to these things. So it's not. I have no idea what Cam and Ali are using. I have no idea. I have no idea what the drug is. And I'm not talking about methadone. I'm talking about the illegal stuff. I have no idea. But with me at least, listen. I remember when I first got with Noelle. I forget what it was. She had got a surgery. I don't think she was taking these for the surgery. Maybe it was, but they gave her the Percocets. Okay, she was prescribed Percocets for some time, and then at some point they like upped her Percocets to these blues. And I was like, I remember first time I seen a blue, I was like, man, get that away from me. I don't ever want to see that. Now she's prescribed to it for her pain, but I was like, man, that destroyed me. Like I was like, get out of the room. You know what I'm saying? Man, because I had a long struggle with those things, man, and I got bad on those things. I'm talking about bad, man, bad. But this is where this interview came from. What's happening?
I asked you to make sure you tell them that I was not taking the medicine. My parents were filling it for me. I told them to skip that part.
Oh yeah, she wasn't even taking the medication. It does. No, well, you needed it probably.
It doesn't fucking matter, does it? I wasn't taking them.
So she did. So she did not take the medication. Her parents at the time were getting it filled for her, on insurance or whatever. But she wasn't taking the medication. I'm just telling you, like, here's what I'm trying to get at. When after her surgery, she did Percocets. It didn't bother me that a bottle of Percocets was around the house. I'm not trying to take them or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, when I saw that blue, I was like, man, get that up. Remember that? I was like, get that away from me. But at the same time, it's not the drug, it's the person. But people, places, and things, man, is huge in addiction. It is huge in addiction. What's up, Doozy? How you doing? I have to stay away from opioids unless given at the hospital. Of course. What's up, Free from Federal Trove? What's happening? Don't see it, but I see someone's comment. Hi, everyone. I'm kind of new to chatting here. Been watching your content from afar for a while. Addiction is an affliction. Been there, done that. Long time ago, I wouldn't go with my husband. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. So this is an important comment. What's up, Miss Rhonda? Hey, Dolly, how are you doing tonight? The real Dolly on YouTube. Everything that is hidden will be shown, and everything that is secret will be made known. What you have said in the dark will be heard in the light. It was really scary seeing them on your live. Yeah, but I don't, there you are, Free. I see you now. I worked in a treatment facility here in Florida, and the couples in treatment usually leave and use. 1,000% agree with that. 1,000%. Somebody become a member, that would be JR Nana Boomer. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. So, trigger warning. I think you handle it as best. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I appreciate that, but I was gonna kind of, my thinking was after that, because he's watching the channel, I was going to kind of, he doesn't know if I'm gonna show stuff that I haven't shown that I have. He doesn't know. And I think that's why he was watching. And that's why when I came back after that live, the next live, I'm like, hey man, the dude got a freaking lawyer here, but he's still asking for in his Discord, he's still trying to raise money to get a lawyer. It's been paid for. The next day, after that next live, the next day he deletes his Discord. So my point was, he's watching the channel, and I wanted to carry maybe some awareness and messages, a message, try to maybe coach them through that. But that's way too much responsibility on me, way too much pressure, and I can't do that. I can't do that. It was good thinking. It was good thinking on my end with the help of your comments, but it's impossible. But why I do have his attention here, look, I want to say this. I hope the guy does 100% go into rehab, him and his wife, and I hope they have their day in court. I hope they get their kids back, all that stuff. The point of this video is just to educate people. I'm going back to the live when he came on. There's a lot of good comments, a lot of concerning comments, a lot of people who understand addiction, a lot of people who don't get addiction, and a lot of people that are like, hey, Allie, leave him. There's those comments. Some people are like, you two need to get into recovery right now. There's a lot of those. Then there's a lot of people like, I just had her comment on the screen. Joey said it. Hey, Long Star. Damn, I just put the comment on the screen. Well, I don't want to get mixed up off topic, but the comments that I've put on the screen, there's a lot of people who understand it, and they're like, hey, you guys need to go into separate treatment facilities. Get yourself together, uplifting. Some are mad, whatever. The point is, man, my main thing is, trying to get people who don't understand addiction to maybe learn a little bit here, okay? Just off what you've seen from that live until, from people who have been through it, okay? That's my main thing here. So let's see what the comments say before I play this. Somebody put the helpline up. They need an inpatient rehab first. Yes, she should get herself. Yeah, I agree with you. So does Rhonda. Now, the title of this live, it only gave me so many characters. So it should say Caminale Rehab. It should say the Idaho 4 families upset. I also, if I have time, want to talk a little bit about Auntie Sherry and the Daisy situation with the abortion stuff and all that, if we have time, and a little recap. Don't know if we'll get there. Don't know, but we'll see. I can do the recap now. Well, was on your post drug of. I thought meth was on your post drug of overuse. Not understanding what this comment means.
He didn't have a drug of choice. That's what polysubstance abuse is.
Are you speaking about poly substance abuse? Or I thought meth. No, I hate meth. Meth is like the most shittiest drug in the world. Yeah, I don't. That was never my thing. Meth. I liked opiates. Opiates, you nod off. It's a different type of high. Meth is like you're all geeked up, you can't sleep. Screw all that. I never was into drugs that took from my sleep, peeking out the windows, crack, meth. That shit sucks. They all suck. But what I'm saying is I favored opiates. Okay. I went to the benzo phase, the Xanax, the Valium and stuff like that when I was younger. But I was never like, have I done meth? I've tried it. I wouldn't know how it felt if I didn't. Have I tried crack? Sure. I don't think there's much I haven't done. If I'm being honest, I've tried roofies. I've tried them all. But I don't know. Meth is a big thing, man, nowadays. To me, when I look at the scene nowadays, it looks like meth and fentanyl are the rulers of what's going on. And a lot of the meth use is because people can't get the fentanyl, so they get whatever they can. I know some people right now that are literally going through that. Some of the best sleep I've ever got was on opiates, 100%. Sometimes you'll just take a nap, right like that, you know. I got into some bad stuff, but I couldn't do the smell, taste of meth. Sadly, everyone here is on it. Yeah, no. I understand that. I understand. My hometown too. That's weird. It's crazy that you say that. My hometown as well. And what's crazy is I'm about to tell you about. I'm about to show you this interview, and we're going to talk about Cam and Alley. I just want you to think about Cam and Alley when you're watching this, okay? Especially if you wrote the comments from that live. But real fast, to your point, Long Star, my downfall was opiates. And I wasn't the only one. A lot of my friends back home went through the same addiction that I did. But it's weird because that was the opiate uh, not pandemic, what do they call it? Epidemic, where it was a flood of these blues. And Florida has loose laws, and everybody from the country was coming here to get up to our pill mills. The problem is, so many people got addicted, right? They started passing laws and stuff to make, they started doing the pharmacy thing where, what's it called, babe? The system, huh? Not doctor shopping. What's it called when they have the system there where they can look. Everything's all linked. You used to be able to go. Literally, there was a time where, I mean, what year is it? Okay, I'm safe to say this because of so much time since the crime, statute of limitations. So I could walk into a clinic and get 160 30 milligram Roxys and like 60 Xanax. Fill it right there, walk out, go across the street, and do it all again. Now they have this big. The pharmacies can tell if you've done or not. You'll get doctor shopping, serious felony if you do that. But back in the day, it was sweet. You could do that. You could do that 15 times a day. For educational purposes, and hypothetically, I may or may not have drove a big white van with like 20 people in it that all needed scripts to be filled, and I was paying for them all, and I was getting a cut off them all. It was sweet here. But the blues is what did it. To your comment, I wasn't the only one to go through that addiction, and these laws get passed, blah, 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 and you see it harder for people to get blues. So then another drug comes because there's a bunch of people addicted to blues. Just because they can't get the same drug doesn't mean they're going to stop. They find something else. That's why meth is where it's at today, because a lot of the opiate people can't get the same drug anymore due to laws, quantity, availability, all this. So they source out to whatever they can get, if that makes sense. It's called Casper polls. I was indicted for driving lots of miles to get yes. 100%. I used to work in a pill mill in Fort Lauderdale. There is a documentary on YouTube. It's called the Oxycontin Express. In that documentary is the pill mill that I worked at. If you watch the documentary, you're going to see a black guy. He's a security guard. He's a black man. He's a Haitian guy. I used to work with him. Okay, the documentary was shot before I started working there, but you'll see the exact place I used to work at. It was off the chain. I couldn't get out of bed until opiates. I don't abuse them. I appreciate them. I'd rather be addicted than laying in bed crying from pain. Man, it's tough. Okay, yeah, it is. So yeah, check it out. Oxycontin Express. It's true story. So let me show you guys this. I want to this interview. There's a channel I'll put the channel in the comments. This guy did a badass job on this little mini documentary. It's about blues, and I 100% agree with everything in this video, with the exception of the prices of the blues. In this video, he is speaking about, well, he's interviewing people and they're talking about how much they pay for blues. The problem is, this is recent, and these are not blues. I was addicted to, Roxy's, Roxycontin blues. These are pressed pills with fentanyl. Nowadays, there's so many bullshit pills. They make the pill look just like a pill. They do it with Xanax. They do it with blues. They do it with everything. But I don't want to get off track. I want to focus on this couple speaking of, they're fully addicted, and they're speaking about what about rehab, entering rehab, and this and that. I'm going to play a little bit of this guy asking addicts about addiction, about blues, just for a minute, and then we're going to shoot to the interview part. I'll link this. This video is linked in my description. Please check the entire video out. It's well worth a watch. But this is important, especially when you get to the couple. Think about Cam and Allie.
Pharmaceutical opioids, which would I think oxycodone or oxycontin, one of those things, something like that.
This is taped in Phoenix.
So can you tell me how long you've been using blues for?
I've been on the streets for 13 years. I've been doing them since they came out.
And
I was like 2008.
2008.
Something like that.
Blues I've been using for probably about 3 to 4 years now. I started using heroin 8 years ago.
Okay, so the name of this channel is called, here it is. It's called Picking Popcorn. 2.58 subscribers, almost 3,000 subscribers. I hit the like. You see what I do when I watch YouTube videos? Like hit. It almost has 400,000 views off this video. It's very well done. This is the link to the video. It's in the description box too for the people that catch the replay of this. How you doing, Andrea? I lived on a reservation. People knew if I had been to the ER, they'd been knocking at my door. Hey, Danny, what's happening? How are you? Happy early New Year's to everybody in the chat and everybody who may watch this rerun. I don't know if I'll see you guys before the new year. People have ruined it for the people that actually need them. Oh, 100% agree with that. I have been on subs for the past 5 years, and I'm hoping that I can get off it sometime this year. But I don't think that is going to happen. Hey, good luck. You made the step. You made the step from whatever you were doing, obviously some type of opiates, to Suboxone. It's a big step. All right, so read some of your comments. We had Clinic 45 in Houston. We would carpool to it regularly. That I got a med pass in Mexico. I was bringing them here. I got a detainer over it finally and moved up. Man, I bet it freaking hurts. It sucks. So this is tough to watch because this was me years ago. But let me skip to the part about the couple. So this guy is walking the streets of Phoenix and asking people about blues, how long they've been addicted to them, what it's done. Okay. And at some point, they talk about the cost. The cost of the pills that they're paying is the only thing that I would disagree with, but that doesn't mean it's neither here nor there. Think about this is addiction. It doesn't matter if it's blues, heroin, meth, Vicodin, crack. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what drug it is. What we're talking about here is addiction and couples entering rehab. Everyone knows the state of Cam and Allie. It's quite obvious. But what you may not know is the struggle that it is for couples to get into a rehab center. And it's a very difficult part in addiction if you were to be using with your significant other. So let me find that and we'll talk about it. If you have knowledge about this, please, the comments are so useful. If you have knowledge about this exact subject, I would appreciate them. Definitely put them on the screen. Let me get this thing to play. Here we go, right here.
Racist. It's terrible.
Have either of you tried to go to
So here you have the couple here. No, this is not Cam and Allie. No, but this is two addicts, and they're speaking about the subject.
rehab or have any thoughts about doing it?
We tried 2 or 3 times. That's what's fucked up. Because in order to get into a rehab, first you have to go to a detox center and got to have proof that you detoxed from all the drugs and shit. So it's like, we tried twice to go to this one called Copper Springs, and things got messed up both times because of the way the facilities ran. Like, they got shit fucked up, and so therefore we can't properly get the help that we're actually seeking when we try to go get help. We can't even receive it. It's like
sitting in the office waiting for at least a minimum of 8 hours. So we're already triple sick. You know what I mean? Antsy and
we waited 8 hours
to
get assessed, and still didn't get assessed. And then, so I mean, honestly, we ended up leaving before we got assessed for the detox. But that was because we literally sat there for 8 or 10 hours, and they couldn't tell us anything. They just stuck us in a room with nothing but a TV, and was like, "Oh well, just sit here and wait till you get assessed. They'll see you here in a little bit." And
so these guys, I don't know if they're married, they're dating, whatever. They're both addicted. They're homeless at this point. And at some point, the two of them were like, look, let's get our shit together. Let's go to rehab. Which is, you got to give them credit for that. That's like a huge step. Let's hear about what happens at the rehab.
8 hours went by, and it's like, I'm not going to keep sitting here and they pretty much said, well, you're not guaranteed to get accepted. So it's like, why am I going to sit here for X amount of hours? Could be 12 more hours for them to tell me that I'm not allowed that I don't fit their criteria.
And there was multiple people like before us that didn't meet their criteria that got sent away.
So it's like that detox center, they'll tell you to come there, but then they tell you to leave pretty much after they find out, or what they think their assessors think that you don't fit their criteria. And it's like, what the hell is their criteria? That's what I want to know, because like, I'm a hardcore drug addict seeking help. Here I am, like, begging and fucking crying for help, and they're telling me to fucking go somewhere else. Like, that's bullshit.
All right, here's the thing. I do give these people 100% credit for actually trying to get themselves better. But here's a problem. A big reason that rehabs and halfway houses and recovery centers and detox centers and all that will not accept couples that, look, man, they need you to work on yourself. You need to focus 100% on yourself. You can't be worrying about your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, nothing. They need you to focus on yourself. And here's an example of this. You have two people who have actually did a really, really positive step and made a move to get themselves better. But so you imagine them both sitting there. It seems like the dude got frustrated with the thing, and all he has to say is, you know what, fuck this place. And then they're out of there. They're out of there. If the girl is there by herself and she's just sitting there. Yeah, she's probably getting frustrated, this and that, with what he's talking about, but she can make her own decision. Maybe she sits it out all the way. Okay, but it's very easy to convince people, and this is from personal experience as well. It's very easy when you have someone that you're getting high with and all this other shit, to talk you out of something, to talk you into something. It's a big reason.
It's fucking bullshit. And that's what needs to be fixed in this country, in this city, everywhere. There needs to be better detox centers and better rehabs. Like, better.
And we're a couple. A lot of places don't accept couples or whatever. We're the only two that we have in this state, you know, and we rely on each other, and we're married, and we're not going to be 1,000 miles away from each other and not be able to communicate. We have a child together.
That's another reason why it's so hard for us to get into somewhere, because places won't allow couples. And it's like, so then we're like, well, you're not going to let us both come? Well, fuck it. So then what do? We stay out here on the street and continue the same old cycle every day. And it's, you know, it's like, yeah, we make that choice to do that kind of, which we can make that choice to separate and, you know, just bite the bullet and fucking sit through it. But it's like, you know how.
So this is very important. You see it right there. You see it right there. To the people who on that live, when Cam and Ali came on, who wish them to go into rehab together, I understand your heart's in a good place. 100%. I get it. But if you don't understand it, they don't take couples. They don't.
What is the criteria? And I have another question. Isn't there like a men's side and a women's side? I can't imagine they mix men and women together. So why would it matter if you went in as a couple if they're just going to split you up and you're not going to cross paths?
Sometimes they don't have it like that.
I've never been in a rehab.
Yeah, no.
They
Yeah, no, they don't have that. Like on a detox center, they'll have men and women. They don't like it to mingle like that. They don't listen. Any recovery place, they don't want you to fully get better, in recovery, to fully get off drugs. You got to focus on yourself. The last thing that you can do is be in recovery and worrying about having a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You know, they want you to get all the way right, taking care of yourself first before you decide the date. They in the places I've been, they say, hey, 2 years. Even I'm talking about even in halfway houses. They're talking about rehab places and whatnot. A halfway house is somewhere that you would live, okay, with, you know, rules and stuff like that, curfew, random drug test. You know, you go to meetings all the time during the week. You have to get a sponsor, okay? Yeah, and they're cheap. You get a bed there and this and that. You have to do chores around the house. You know, I've been there, done that. But they don't even want you in a relationship for 2 years. Recovery is all about you admitting you have a problem, getting yourself right with God or whatever your higher power is, whoever that may be, and, you know, continually working on yourself up into the point where you can then, because you got yourself right, you get it now, whatever, you're working with yourself, you got a sponsor, then you become a sponsor, and now the part of recovery is you help another addict. That's the whole game. But I just thought this was important. It was a very good interview because this is what happens a lot, man. This is what happened. This is my life so hard, man. This is my life so hard when I was in addiction. I felt like, and I know Cam and Ali going through this, I felt like I was at the end of a road, and I felt like, well, I know I burnt a lot of bridges. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I felt like the person that I was using the drugs with, this was not Noel. Just so everyone understands, I'm not speaking about Noel. But the person that I was using the drugs with was with me when I was burning the bridges, when I was doing the dirt, when I was ripping and running. And I felt like clinged to this person and pushed the rest of the world over here. Right? And there was no way. Well, with that being said, there's been a million times where I got this person to relapse or use again after we decided to stop, and vice versa. There's been a million times where I've said, hey, I want to go to rehab. I want to go to rehab. But because I'm clinged on to this person in this toxic relationship, the rest of the world is pushed away. That person didn't want to. They didn't tell me that. But this was like, no, let's do this. Let's do this first. It's like you're not thinking for yourself. If I didn't
cannot imagine living that way. It's pathetically horrible.
Yes, it 100% is.
Pathetic, horrible.
100%. 100%.
I'm so blessed and thankful that even in my addiction, I wasn't in that situation.
100%. Now, listen. Noelle brings a good point. I'm sure you heard her. I'm talking about deep addiction people. I'm not talking about people using burning pot or people who, what do they say? There's the casual, like the cocaine using lawyer who, parties during the weekend and maybe gets it back. I'm not talking that. I'm talking about deep in addiction. Let's hear it again real quick. I rewinded it.
We're going to be 1,000 miles away from each other and not be able to communicate.
When their assessors think that you don't fit their criteria, and it's like, what the hell is their criteria? That's what I want to know, because like, I'm a hardcore drug addict seeking help. Here I am, like, begging and fucking crying for help, and they're telling me.
That's a very good comment, Chuck. Because you have been able to get bonded to them so you can get it done, and I have been able to find a way to get a girlfriend that was an addict every time that I was going to be able to get out of there. Joanne, I don't know how you say so compassionate. Shout out to Miss Danny on the screen now.
Shout out to my Joanne.
Shout out to Miss Joanne. Miss Danny is the person who all this came about. I'm back. My phone crashed. Great. Good stuff. Glad you're back. Okay. Is it Soper Girl? Soper Girl. Appreciate that. Listen, Rhonda, now that you're back, hit the like because you didn't do it last time. Just joking. Okay. Personally, the only way it can work is just to be individuals. Okay, this is said a different way. Work on yourself for as long as it takes, and after a couple of years, maybe you'll be ready to add another. That's well put. That's very true. Very true. So true. I used to get mad at the places. I used to get mad because I wanted to have a little bit of control. And they're like, no, if we catch you with the girl, this and that, you're out of the house, this and that, kicked out of rehab. I mean, they really enforce this stuff. As these people are saying, they went from, these people are in deep addiction on the streets. And because they were told, no, you can't enter together. If split up, we'll take you, but this other facility will take you. If they were super serious, they'd be all in. But because they couldn't be together, they literally chose to be homeless.
To fucking go somewhere else. Like, that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. And that's what needs to be fixed in this country, in this city, everywhere. There needs to be better detox centers and better rehabs. Like,
I agree with him there. Cheaper rehabs. Cheaper, more affordable. Anybody knows how much rehab cost?
No.
Also going back to the live with Cam and Allie. Does anybody know how much rehab cost? Somebody do me a favor. Google it. Somebody Google what's the average rehab stay cost in America.
and we're a couple. They don't. A lot of places don't accept couples or whatever. We're the only two that we have in this state, you know, and we rely on each other, and we're married, and we're
100%.
not going to be 1,000 miles away from each other and not be able to communicate. We have a child together.
That's another reason why it's so hard for us to get into somewhere, because places won't allow couples. And it's like, so then we're like, well, you're not going to let us both come? Well, fuck it. So then what do? We stay out here on the street and continue the same old cycle every day. And it's, you know, it's like, yeah, we make that choice to do that kind of, which we can make that choice to separate and, you know, just bite the bullet and fucking sit through it. But it's like, you know, how it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's.
And then you go to detox, and you get out of detox, have to come back out here until you get into a
Thank you, Longstar. Yes, Weekend Warriors. I could tell you know a lot about addiction. Don't know if you yourself have been through it or your family, but I get it. You get it. A lot of you do in the chat. I appreciate the comments for the people who do get it. If I'm not explaining this perfectly, you have no problem if you correct something I say. I do not know everything. What I do know is addiction. What was it?
$12.80 a month when they went. Average would be $5,700 a month. Wow.
50. Really? That's it? That's the average? Okay. Well, here, like, yeah. Okay, doozy. So where I'm from, here's the thing. Let me tell you something. I don't know where Camp and Alley are, and I don't know what their options are, but I will tell you this. Deep in addiction, for me, to say I want to go to rehab, it was about $20,000. Now look, there's nobody. I've never known an addict deep in addiction that has 20 grand laying around. No way.
So do they turn you away? Like, how do you?
So
they don't get paid a lot, I guess.
So what happened was, I went to a detox center, and I tried. Because this was the epidemic of opioids. They said we are full. So I know a cheat code, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I feel it's important, and I will, just in case anybody needs to use this cheat code.
This is like how many years ago? 10 years ago?
Yeah, this is about a decade ago.
Longer than 10 years ago.
So a detox can never turn you down. They could say their beds are full, but I said, hey, I'm feeling like I'm going to hurt myself. They legally can't let you go. Okay. Was I lying? Yeah, I was lying. Have I had those thoughts before? I've had I've had crazy thoughts like everybody else does. But did I have those exact feelings and thoughts that day? No, I was lying. But I didn't have $20,000 to get into rehab. I got myself into a detox. And because I said that, they legally had to hold me for like 3 to 5 days until a psychiatrist talked to me. Another cheat code is when you Baker Act somebody, for those who have people in their family, and you feel like you can't get through to them. I don't know how your state deals with when you Baker Act somebody, but you could also use that cheat code. That way, they 1,000% get Baker Acted. I could tell you in Florida, I don't know, something with COVID changed that, but just put that in the back of the brain and use it only if necessary. Yeah. So I didn't have a money to get into rehab. Detox turned me down. I lied to get into detox. And, you know, the way it's supposed to go is this. You go to a detox, you dry out, and then you go to a rehab center, and then you go to a halfway house. Unfortunately, in Florida, it's very. I can't believe $5,700 is what you said. It's like $20,000 when I was looking. I mean, I looked and looked and looked. So did my whole family. So what I did was I went to detox, and then I went to a halfway house. I needed the rehab. Another problem, this guy talks about what's wrong with this country, rehabs in this. Another problem with the system is they have sent me to prison twice. they put me in jail for driving a few months ago. Yeah, it was my fault. Yeah, I don't have a license. I'm not blaming anybody. But I was never offered, like, here's this treatment place. Here's this program. They have them available. But where the hell are they? It's crazy. He's got a point with that, is what I'm saying. Play it again.
Residential program, like
Just to be clear, anytime I've ever gone to jail, it's been my fault. I'm not blaming anybody. And as far as addiction goes, that's on me too.
Yeah.
just because you're not withdrawing no more, it turns into a mental thing when everybody around you is using.
Yeah.
And you remember that feeling. It's hard to say no. Like, it's uncomfortable to be out here sober minded and sleep here. This is all we have. Is these backs. That's it.
It's next to impossible to do this sober. I don't know how he did it for 4 months sober.
I have went to a rehab facility, and it wasn't really rehab. It was more like detox. And
so what else is on this? This video is good, man. Check it out. What's this kid talking about? We'll take a quick peek.
You can understand that we're not doing it. Not all of us are doing it because we want to. It's because we feel like we have to, or we're stuck in it. We want to get out. We're trying to climb up the wall or the ladder, I'd say, to get into the light. But the hole gets darker and darker and just keeps dragging us down like a horror movie. Like, real shit, bro. I wish I never did this shit again. I tell people, don't touch it, bro. It's the worst thing that ever fucking happened to me.
Great facts, that kid's saying. Great facts. At some point, you're not even enjoying the high. You're not even getting high. You're just not getting sick. Tolerance goes down.
You just do it because you don't want to get sick after a while.
I dropped the link of that video again in the chat. I'm getting a little off topic, talking about addiction fully, which is fine. So I wanted to show you guys that because there's a lot of people who, and I think it's out of concern. They're like, you guys need to go to rehab tomorrow, which that's not a bad comment. They both need to go. It's just not that easy. It's just not that easy.
I have people that I know that I have.
The problem is, man, look, I hope they both totally do a 180 turnaround. I really do. I really do. Hope they get their kids back. 2024. I hope the best. I hope that they do a 180 and even pay Danny back the money that they took advantage of. I hope all that happens. But it is very hard. My point is, it is very hard as two people using to separate and enter rehabs. I don't have the answer why. If I have to explain it, I guess because
is that fear?
I think you're
couple,
the
person getting abused has a trauma bond.
Yes. Well, you're there's fear. You're very insecure. Remember, this is deep addiction. You've burnt a lot of bridges. You only have your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You're scared. It's all you have. You've already pushed your friends and family away, and you don't want to lose what you. I could say, I guess, what I think or what it is for me, but I can't speak for all addicts. All I know is it is very seldom that you're going to do rehabs. That's what I wanted to bring about this. What's to say? I'm so glad that I went through it because I was very judgmental about people with addictions. I got to see them on a different level, between a rock and a hard place, for real. Really.
What's equally just as hard, and people don't realize it, especially when they're addicts, is for me was learning who I was as an adult, growing up as an addict my entire life from a young teenager into my 20s. I didn't know who I was. Who am I sober? Who am I clean? How do I go to work? How do I drive when I'm not high? How do I work not high? How do I take care of this and that? And I had no fucking clue who I was as a person.
Very true. This is a very interesting comment. Did you see this comment? Tennessee has a 3-day Baker Act? So you mean to tell me it takes 3 days to Baker Act somebody there? Like buying a gun? That's crazy. I did not know that. No, in Florida, you call them. There's like a special little squad.
Your wellness check.
Yeah, they come out and look, to Baker Act somebody, it's hard, but the cheat code is, hey,
You need proof. You can't just say, hey, they're going to hurt themselves or someone else without a way to back it up.
you sometimes you need proof. But if the person is like using my choice of drugs, which is opiates, and maybe they're taking a nod in the backyard, you grab their phone and you text yourself something stupid, delete it if you really care about them, and you do what you got to do. But everybody's different, everybody's different. They're codependent on there's that word. They're codependent on each other. That's the worst problem. They have to break away from that so they can independently get rehab and get clean. Well said.
Codependency, I can see codependency having a lot to do with it.
Yeah. What's going on, Mark? Hey, Long Gone's in here. I don't see you. Oh, there you are. I just put your comment on the screen. What am I talking about? What's up, Long Gone? How are you? Long time no see. Happy New Year. He is 13 now and never has known a home with violence, drugs. What's this about? Trauma bonds. Gotta want it to get clean, though. Do you think they truly want to get clean? No, because of the denial on the live. What's up, Kit? What's happening? Kit, Mark. Are you reading the comments? A lot of people. Kit, Mark, and
No, I'm watching you talk.
oh, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, Matt in the well."
Hey, sorry. I'm actually looking at my husband and that.
So, thank you, Andy Rush. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. We got the coolest chat in the game. White boy and wifey and whisper on a Thursday New Year's weekend. So yeah, man. Listen, there's a lot of denial there. They're not owning it. I think the problem with them is, and I think how this whole thing started is with the comments that I read. If he just owned it instead of denying it, I think people would be a lot more supportive to him. But at the same time, I don't know if he can, because there's the CPS case going. So can he come and own it and say, hey guys, look, you called my bluff. I know you guys know. I tripped up. I stumbled on the banana peel. I got a monkey. Help me shake the monkey off. I need your support. Can he do that? I don't know if he can do that. So maybe that's why the doubling down comes with the denial, because the CPS thing. I don't know the whole court situation. Look, I want them to be better. I don't like all the things that has been done. I don't love at all what happened with Danny. I just understand very well addiction, what addicts do to get drugs, and how they deny things when they're called out. Look, here's the deal. If they do not get help, you're going to see no change. 10 months from now, they're going to look the same and still be mad and denying if you say different. Nothing will change until they own it. What was that, babe?
If they are still alive in 10 months, 10 months is a long time for a junkie.
That's so true. In this video that I just played, I put the link in here. I'll drop it again. This is a drug that destroyed me personally. I went down. It fucked me up. I lost a lot, man. Look, I made a lot of money on blues, making fast money. But at the end, dirty money. At the end of the day, I had a fucking gorilla on my back. And it fucked my life up. And definitely did. I can honestly say, though, in this interview with this couple, in that whole video, they're talking about blues, but it was fentanyl laced blues. And thank God, when these blues had a crutch on me and had a grip on me, it was just a pharmaceutical drug. I mean, I got addicted to it, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't fentanyl. It wasn't fentanyl. Now, man, it is scary shit.
They put that in everything. I mean,
They put it on, and the internet has a lot to do with fentanyl, people.
I have read so many news articles. People will literally, they take like, okay, I'm not condoning buying any meds on the street. Somebody bought like an Adderall and they ended up overdosing because it had fentanyl in it.
So, man, when I was in jail, when I was in jail, man, I had a conversation with my roommate, and the subject of fentanyl came up, and he was telling me about purchasing fentanyl online. Let me think I should say this.
There's websites that sell all kinds of crap.
He was telling me how he used to do it. Okay. And he was explaining to me when he got this stuff, at one point he told me somebody, so this is how strong this shit is. He was ordering this shit online. Okay. At one point when he got the shit, he opened the box and the dust. So he opened the box. He didn't do any. He didn't ingest any. He didn't snort any. He didn't bang any. He opened the box and the dust. Okay. From opening the box, somebody that was with them, they overdosed. You see the videos online on YouTube, on TikTok. You see these police that will bust somebody with fentanyl, and they overdose. They put this shit in, so it's very sad. It's hard to watch. I'm just trying to bring awareness to people who don't understand this thing. If you do understand it, you guys know the time is clicking with this whole situation here. If you've seen the hands, if you've seen the state, if you know it, and there's a lot of people in this chat that know about addiction, you guys know that the clock is ticking, unfortunately. And it's sad for me to say that. But I'll always keep it real.
That's one thing that we won't do is lie.
I'm not going to lie to you.
It hurt. It might anger or upset people, but don't get angry at us for telling you the truth. Get angry at the fact that there's this devil that everyone's addicted to and they need help. And they need to get it.
It couldn't have been happier to be clean now, because I know I'd be not here to have this conversation. Hey, that's real.
Amen. I'd be gone.
God bless you. I'm proud of you. How long have you been clean? And if you don't mind me asking, what was your drug of choice? Hey, boring is fun, man. It's a good comment. It's another conversation from jail. There was a young kid, and he's like, man, I just want to be a lame when I get out of here. I want to be a lame, a square. I'm like, man, that's what I strive to be. I want to be a square. I want to be a lame. Fuck running the streets. Fuck being the man. Fuck all that life. Fuck living like that. Where do you end up at, bro? Why would you be the man on the streets and end up in prison, or be a square? What is a square? A man that goes to work and doesn't get high and use drugs and doesn't run the streets? That's a square? Man, I strive to be the biggest square in the world then. Don't give a fuck. So my boy used to get it by the kilo from China. And I don't think that it's a little bit of time to get it here, and he would have it sent to the rundown house on the corner from his house. Yeah. The dark web, man. There's a lot of fentanyl that
How do people
A lot of fentanyl gets here from the internet because people think it's the border. The border's wide open. 100% yes, it is. And 100% the cartels got people bringing fentanyl through the border. 1,000%. But man, it's not even that type of situation. You could order right from the computer all type of dope to an address that may or may not be yours. The box may or may not have your name on it. You may have paid for it with maybe your not credit card, or maybe a prepaid Visa that you get at the gas station that you paid cash money for, so there's no transaction record. And maybe that shit came from Russia. The next time you do, maybe it came from Afghanistan. This shit is coming everywhere. And the thing about it is, it's not even from the internet, it's not even real fentanyl. Back to the conversation that I had in jail, this dude was telling me about the box. The dust had somebody overdose. He said that shit was so strong that he had to cut it like 9 times. So,
Wow.
so an ounce becomes 9 ounces. Okay?
Wow, that's
It's
insanity.
big money, and it's so pure. It's like so pure. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But it's in every drug now. It's in every drug. It's in all the things. What's up, Raven? How are you? Let me see her comment. Oh my God, blues were my drug of choice, and Xans. I'm glad we weren't hanging out. I've been clean for about 13 years. It's not all about pretty, but very colorful and beautiful. For 13 years. It's 2023. So you were going through it. 2010, the epidemic of blues. So me and you shared the same story. We did the same thing, but there's millions of us. Millions of us.
What year was
Millions
it?
of us.
It was what?
She got.
No, the blue epidemic. It started in what, 2010, you said?
That's when it got really popping. So I got out of prison
See, I was
first
up north,
time
I missed it.
in 2006. I got out of prison. When I came home, I was getting adjusted and stuff. I was working, and I ended up running into one of my buddies, and he had a prescription for Roxy's, and he was telling me that he goes to the doctor, he gets his prescription filled, for this much money, and off this bottle of pills, he can make this much money. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, bro, it's easy. And so I solely did it for financial. It wasn't like he was like, you want to try one? Or, it wasn't even like that. Okay, it wasn't even. I had no addiction. It was out of running for money, and I started linking up with the places he was going, and then I found my own places and this and that, and I was selling a lot of fucking blues. I did a lot of damage. I sold a lot of drugs, and there was at one point where in my house there was this little statue that I had. It was a dog, and the dog had its hand like this. I would keep blues in there, so when you come by, I would like just get one when you come in. And man, I was making a lot of money. I bought a Cadillac, DeVille. I put it on 26s, speakers, everything, TVs. I bought a boat. Man, I was doing my thing. And on top of doctor shopping all around South Florida,
And pharmacy shopping?
I
Or was
met-
it easy? It was easy
doctor
back
shopping.
then?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
pharmacy
yeah,
shopping
yeah,
was
yeah.
easy.
Yeah, you can go you could literally the same day fill 5 scripts for the same controlled substance at Walgreens and go to CVS and do the same thing. So on top of doing all that, I met this plug we'll call him G. This guy named G. This guy is a black dude. Okay, I can call him and say, "Hey, bro, I need 4,000 pills. Come get them, man."
Holy shit, 4,000 pills.
So I was selling them all. Man, there was a point where people were begging me for the plug. They're like, "Bro, I know you get them for the low." I'm like, "Man, look, you can ride with me, man." And I would tax the next guy trying to sell them. Like I was getting them for like $6 a piece at one point, selling them for 20. So I would be like, "Listen, bro, if you want to get 1,000, listen, my dude will give them to you for 8. So I'm making $2,000 just real fast. And I do that I was banking. Meat and potatoes the story is John gets popped. And look, when I'm selling them, I'm starting to do them. And here's how addiction works. I was eating them first. And then I start snorting them. And then I start smoking them. Well, I'm going too fast. I was just eating them during this time. John gets popped, which is a big dent on the money. Not a problem. I can still do whatever I want with these pharmacies and these pill mills. Bam, the law starts to change. They're shutting them down. The feds are raiding them. So at a point, it comes to a halt. When I'm riding around all day, selling pills all day to people, and I bought a lawn service. I bought a whole, I had a truck, I had a trailer, I had a riding lawnmower, weed whackers. I bought a whole lawn service just to make it look like I wasn't selling dope. And I would go handle some lawns. And I would pay people that I knew pills to do lawns. Okay? Then the shit come to a halt. My point is I was eating them throughout the day. Eating them, popping them. I was just eating them, popping them. John gets popped. And then they start changing the laws. I don't have them like that no more. I remember when I was selling these pills, people were like, "Man, I'm sick. All type of shit." And I'm like, "You gotta be, what are you, a pussy? What do you mean you're sick? Dope sick? What is that?" I never got dope sick. I always had them. The shit shuts down. Oh, then I found out what dope sick meant. I ain't have them.
Oh, Jesus.
I ain't have them. But then I didn't understand the addiction that I put myself in at this point. I'm selling pills all day for years, and I'm eating them all day. I think I started snorting them at some point too. So I was eating them or snorting them, but I never went without. There was never a time I have a bundle of pills. I didn't even understand what dope sick was. So this whole time goes by where I'm using every day. And I don't know what dope sick is. And then all the shit happens. I found out. I fucked around and found out. Now I'm chasing the drug. I can't get and acquire it like I used to. I don't have the same plug. He's facing like 60 years or something like that. I think they gave him 50. All type of shit. But I ended up selling the Cadillac, selling my lawn business, and I'm trying to get this shit. I end up a lot to go with this addiction, man. Somebody puts a fucking 45 at my temple, robs me. A lot of shit happened. But, I went from eating them, to snorting them, to smoking them, to shooting them up. Stages of addiction.
Is that how most of your friends did it?
Most people that I know did the same thing. Some people would eat them, snort them, and never go past that. Some people would go all the way up to, I'm not going to shoot them up. Okay. You know, and I was one of those people. I would never do that. That's fucking junkie shit, this and that. I'm telling you. That's how I used to think. I used to look down on people that did that. But man, addiction will absolutely change you. It's okay. Damn, you're the second person to say your phone went dead.
You know, I got lucky.
100% sell yourself.
Even though I was a junkie and I was a junkie.
You'll steal from your mama's
before in
purse.
my life, I
Who does that?
only ever snorted it. I never bent it. And I got real lucky that way. I think I probably would have been dead if I had been banging it.
MJ, what's happening? Enough said. Hey, what's going on? Long time no see. Massive amount of members in the house. Love to see all members in the chat. Shout out to all my members. Love you guys. I really do. Check this out when you have time. It's an eye opener. You'll have to send it to me on Facebook. I won't be able to click it from the chat. MJ said, "What's up, Damaged Goods? All this talk about addictions and getting clean has inspired me to get clean too. Anyone interested in buying a slightly worn out blow up doll named Sally?
Oh my
Suck 'em
God,
dry."
Tom, I knew it was him.
Oh
I
man!
didn't even have to. Oh, ask him how he liked his Christmas card.
Did you hear? How'd your Christmas
How
card?
did Sally like his card?
Did you like it? When I first started doing the pill mills, I didn't even keep one. The last time I was there, and the DTF kicked the door, and I was using them all. Yeah, man. There was I was indicted for both shopping and docs. My kids went to my mom, and there I was to sit in my own piss and shit. And so I'm like, yeah, I hear you.
Mm.
Yeah, the guy, Skunk, the guy that I used to work for, if you Google that documentary, the Oxycontin Express, his name was Vinny, and he owned the pill mill. And man, this shit was so corrupt. When
I remember when we found that documentary. We were
Yeah.
there together, remember?
when the clinics was shut down, so it was so corrupt. The lines of this place would be wrapped around the building all the way over here. They would order pizza for everybody. The thing was, it was like $2.50 for a visit, and they just so happened to, on accident, not accept anyone's insurance, all cash money. So you would go there, and they'd be like, "All right, it's like a 6-hour wait." And there was literally a chick that would be like, "We could probably speed it up," and she couldn't say it, but the person would be like, "Well, how do I get this? See the doctor faster?" And she go like this. Cup right here says tips on it. Put it in front of you. I don't know. You might want to drop 150 in there. You drop 150 in that cup, your name goes from way down here to here. Now you're getting out of there in 2 hours, maybe an hour.
Oh, wait,
Depends what you drop in there.
They had a farm in the doctor.
They had a pharmacy right there, but the whole shit would shut down because I was doing security there because people were doing junkie stunts left and right. You have, man, stories for days with that, but it would shut down, and every day the dude would bust out a bottle of Grey Goose. We take a shot, and I remember this doctor. He knew he was doing dirty. He knew he was getting thousands of people addicted. You could see it on his face. It wasn't with him morally. I remember he just wasn't with it. And he also was paranoid. Eventually the feds rushed and raided all these things. Down the street is where I got my bogus MRI for $250. I just did some deadlifts in the backyard. Had my homeboy punch my lower back a few times. And I had my L6, my L4, my L3. Everything's all fucked up. My back is strong. But it was so sweet. But when the place would shut down, so the doctor would take a bottle of Grey Goose, take a shot. He ended up quitting because he wasn't comfortable with it. And then Vinny had to find another doctor. And these dudes and these doctors, man, were like, They would all work there for a few months. They would get rich and dip. Think about it, $250 a person. That tip jar had a lot of money in it. I'm not talking about a normal doctor visit. I'm talking about picture your doctor's office completely filled to the fucking maximum capacity, and then wrapped around the building. Okay, people just, you're like going like this and stuff, going by someone to go to the bathroom. There's no walking space.
Don't forget.
That's everywhere.
About when you were done seeing and you got your script, then you go right into the other room. And how long would you wait for your pills to get?
Yes, you go get your script from this place, and then you walk out, and then there's like the next building over. They would rent both things. You go fill it. They have their own pharmacy. Shit's crazy. All these doctors would get rich. They're all paranoid. They knew the shit was dirty. They were banking, and they'd quit. All of them.
How many pills do you think that that's their sole bread and butter. So how many pills a day do you think they were writing?
Man.
How many would they fill? How could
Tens
a
of thousands.
that many
Tens
booze
of
and
thousands.
stock? That's insanity.
I've heard an addict say, "You'll sell your soul." What, man? Yeah.
So,
They should not do rehab together. It's not good for neither one of them getting clean. But I would love to see both of them go into rehab and take it serious and save their lives. What's up, Whitco, man? I saw that you were live, but I was setting up this one. Good comment and 100% true. Wendy was talking about Wendy. Shout out to Wendy. Where's Wendy? Is she in the chat?
no, she said you smell funny.
I don't know Georgie's. Who's that? Is drive to Florida 3 times a week to grab 10,000 of them, 30 milligrams each time. Oh, man, you talking my language, bro. Talking my language. They had a sting, though. Fort Lauderdale had a sting. If they seen you were from out of state, they would be pulling people. And the Broward sheriffs are fucking corrupt. And, man, stories for days. I don't want to get off topic. Look, Cam and Ali, man, with the people who commented, you're saying the right thing. You're either saying it out of frustration, you're saying it in support, but the reality is I don't know many couples that will split up in deep addiction and enter separate rehabs. I personally never heard of it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm not saying they can't beat the odds at all. In the chat, have you guys seen that? People who understand it. So I just want to explain this. This is huge awareness for addiction here, man. They shouldn't. What was that comment? I agree. They shouldn't do it together. They should be. Yeah, 100%. Fun fact, the U.S. Department of State offers up to $25 million rewards for information leading to conviction of these doctors. That I did not know. Whoopsies. Should we private this thing? Hey, look, man, I'm not testifying. This is all for educational purposes. This is hypothetically educational. And once upon a this is all story time. So anyway, so look, thoughts on the Idaho 4 case. Nothing really happened, but the college there paid for that house to get demolished. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it real fast. Hazy, how are you doing? Hazy's in here, babe. Hey, Hazy, reach out to us. It's been a long time since we heard from you. Mark, you too. I was never a pill addict. However, every time Matt and I talk about the subject, it amazes me. Noelle, we talked about this when we first got together. Noelle has had her own struggle with addiction. She's got her own story. And I'm happy you have to understand. I know Noelle was my first ever girlfriend. And then we didn't see each other for decades, and we used social media to reconnect. And there's been a lot of girlfriends since, and I'm sure with her, a lot of boyfriends. But in the decades that we were away from each other before we reconnected, Noelle went through addiction and Matt went through addiction. Thank God Noelle missed the epidemic.
I did. I was
Thank
never.
God.
I used to look down on pill addicts. I did for some reason. I felt like because I was a heroin addict, I was upper class. And I know that sounds so stupid and disgusting, but that's an addict's mind frame for me anyway.
But she moved away from Florida before the blues and the epidemic started. Thank God, because man, I have seen what addiction does to women, and deep addiction, what it does to women. Look, you will do whatever it takes to get high.
Not this bitch.
You will steal from your mom.
Not true. Not true. And not every addict is the same, and you know that, and you cannot say that. I've never been that type of person
Deep
in my
addiction.
life, and I was a fucking heroin junkie from the time I was 14 until it was like 2010.
But you provided for yourself, and
I took care of my fucking self. I sure did. But I didn't steal, and I never did anything.
yeah, but you were stripping, right?
And bartending.
And bartending. So you had.
I danced 2 nights a week, and I bartended 5.
So you had money though.
I never didn't have to work. I never
Right.
had to worry about anything.
Right.
But it didn't matter because I was not that person. And you know me. So
I know that.
I never would have stolen for dope.
I've seen
I was a
what
trustworthy junkie.
what I have seen in Florida. I know a few, like I said, no names.
People here surprise the shit out of me.
I know some chicks that I went to school with and stuff. Just like you see the person in 2010 gets addicted. I know some women went to school with, and man, look here. Never in a million years would I think they were doing what they were doing to get high, to get drugs. I'm talking about full-blown prostitution, full-blown work in the streets. Never in a million years would I guess that's what that person would become. Never.
You know,
and that person, and these people would not have done that if it wasn't for addiction.
I couldn't wait to come home to Florida, and you, of course, were not telling me not to come home, but you kept telling me it's not what you remember, Noelle. It's not the home you left, and
Yeah.
I remember how disappointed.
What's up, Nicole?
And upset I was. People, the way they were living. I mean, straight junkie status. My hometown, everything it's horrible. And you warned me, but I was like, no, it can't be that bad.
I know dudes that have prostituted for drugs. I've heard that. I personally don't know. What's up, B? I personally don't know any dudes. I know of dudes. I've known of dudes to sell their butthole for it, but I've never seen it. Or maybe they're dressing up like a chick. I don't know. Talking about put it in the butt. I'm on my period. I don't know. Could definitely see it. I personally don't know anybody, but I believe that 100%. There was a good comment here. I don't think I've seen it happen. Couples splitting up to get better, but I have seen a lot of singles go into rehab and come out as a couple. That's a good comment.
That's so weird that they allow the men and women to mix and mingle.
Go watch Soft White Underbelly. That guy's channel freaks me out. I used to watch it a lot. I hate watching those prostitute videos. I hate watching some of those interviews. Nothing that he does. He has great content, but the truth in that, it's scary. I respect all those people that go up there and give people truth. It's a lot of awareness. So, all right, man. So, listen, hope for the best with Cam and Allie. I hope they get together. And I hope if you did write one of those comments, I hope I explained this right. A lot of people in the comments helped me with this. I appreciate you. I don't know if I should talk about this next thing because it's very touchy.
New Year's, I'm going to start my addiction playlist. I'm going to do the first 1 or 2 episodes, but you want to be my first person on down to share your story?
Sure, 100%. BB Diamond, I do watch a lot. Okay, Southwest. Yeah, I will explain to a 13-year-old girl recently. This is what I'm talking about. All right, look, I want to talk about a couple things I've seen on YouTube real fast, and then let's kiss 2023 goodbye.
Not yet. It's on the 28th, baby.
I don't think I'll see you guys. What is today's date? The 28th?
Yeah.
So when is it? 3 days? I don't know. Maybe I'll go live again. I doubt it. I got a video coming out.
We always go live on New Year's.
Oh, yeah, I will see you guys New Year's. I'll be on the roof.
No, we won't. I almost fell off last year. And the year before that, it took you an hour to get me off.
Dr. George Bloody in New York was my doctor who, while I'm grateful for him, looked him up and watched the news about his arrest. His young wife really, where'd it go? Has really fucked him up in the head. All right, so if we're talking about dirty doctors, I'll give you another one. Peter, what was his name? Peter Katz out of West Palm Beach, Florida. So
I had a halfway dirty dog.
I was there's a doctor. I should do a video about this. There's a doctor that I was seeing, and his name is Dr. Peter Katz, Katz. This guy I was seeing, same thing, man. Feds hit the door. He was I forget who set him up or something, but he ended up, I think he went to prison. Look him up. Maybe I'll do a video about that. It's probably a good idea. But yeah, I've known a lot of doctors,
Can you imagine going through becoming a doctor, all that money, all those years of college and schooling just to get fucked and become dirty and go to prison?
No, I can't. Listen, man, that guy Peter Katz, I had to get my file out of his office. He was closing, and he wouldn't take a credit card, so I had to go get. I had to give him cash. He don't have no. He couldn't break. What I gave him, he had to go next door. There was one of those freaking what's that? Those penny things, arcades. There's an arcade next to his office, so he had to go run over there for a second. Before he went over there, though, I'm like, man, I need my file. Because your file is, what doctors keep in their tabs, their notes, and all this. If you have an MRI, it's in there, and obvious. So, and I knew he was closing. So he's telling me he's closing. He's literally telling me he asked me for, like, what do you think is going to happen? I got court. I swear to God. So we're having this conversation. He wouldn't take a credit card. I'm like, bro, I need my file. Okay, I'm not, just because you're closing, I'm not done with the addiction. I got to find another doctor. So he wasn't giving anybody their files. I didn't know then, but he burnt them all because the feds hit him. So this motherfucker, I swear to God, matter of fact, there's a huge TikTok influencer. His name is Viking Mindset. I got pictures of him. There's interviews when he was on YouTube. All that. He was with me this day. Because he picked me up. Viking Mindset. He's got like 290,000 followers on TikTok. Tell him White Boy sent you. So I'll show you a picture in a second. But this guy won't give me my file, and I go to pay him. He goes, go to the arcade to break the money that I gave him. You don't have no change. So man, I said, fuck this. Jumped over the register, whip out the file. I'm like looking for my last name, it's an alphabetical. I get it, put it underneath my shirt, slam the file thing back, jump back over the register, run back in the office, sit down, and he comes back in. I get my scripts, and yeah, he was a piece of shit. He ended up doing some really grimy stuff to a young woman. I want to say it might have even been underage. Weird shit. I should do a video about this, but yeah, so my buddy picks me up from the doctor's office, Viking mindset. I jump in his car and I texted somebody that I knew that was going to this place. I'm like, hey, dude, this guy is getting raided. You better get over here and get your file. He's not going to give it to you. You're going to have to take it. This and that. But, because if I don't get my file, then I got to go get another new MRI and all this other shit. Blah, blah, blah. It's a big pain in the ass. But then I texted the guy. I'm with Viking, and we flipped the camera. I texted him. I told him I flipped the camera off, and I showed him. I said, I got mine. And let me see if I can find that photo. You know what that photo is at?
Are you Viking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can find it.
Send it to me.
If you'd like me to.
I'll show you that day. But I don't know. I just got off topic all the way. Whatever.
That's okay.
It happens.
I like what you did because it's always fun to listen to your story. I enjoy listening to you. I got it here.
Bonfires are fun.
We should do. I told you the other day I want to do a fire pit live again soon.
All right, so I want to say this. What's up, Cal? What's happening? I love to see my members. I wanted to say, there was a creator. I gotta be careful how I word this because, well, not really. So I've been seeing this stuff about Aunt Sherry and Daisy. A lot of people go at Miss Daisy, troller videos, a lot of cyberbullying attack. I think a lot of it has to do with obviously because she's cool with Candace, but at the same time I see as of lately there's been some
She done pissed me off.
there's been some drama revolving around a subject that she had on her panel. This lady, Auntie Sherry, and Miss Daisy, and the subject of abortion came up. All right, it was tough to listen to, but I'm not going to go about this on picking a side here. What I want to say on this is, abortion is tough for me to do as a male creator. It's tough for me to talk about. It just is. But a lot of people attack this lady, Miss Daisy. I don't really.
About it was wrong.
I don't really agree with the situation with Sherry and the abortion, especially knowing that there was a rape involved and stuff like that. However, so I don't really agree with that. But what I will say is, the lady Miss Daisy talks about Jesus and God a lot, Christian. And I give anybody respect and credit for that. The problem is social media and God is such a, I don't even know how to word it. If somebody is putting out videos and they're talking about God in their lives a lot and being Christian and stating the Bible, people always get mad at this person. I don't understand it. It's very hard to even word this.
Just say it. Not that hard.
It's. I'm just trying to explain this right. Listen, man, I don't agree really about the abortion thing. If the lady got raped, she had an abortion. Who cares? In my opinion. Okay. On the flip side of things, as a Christian, part of the Bible, can't really fault her either. I could shoot somebody in the head right now. Boom, right in the forehead. and then the next day find Jesus. So I don't know about that. What I'm trying to say is, I'm gonna leave the abortion thing out because I'm not even gonna bring that. There's too much people. It's a huge topic in politics. It's a huge voting topic. People like literally pick their president behind abortion subject.
The way she went about talking to her and discussing the subject was absolutely disgusting. And anybody that disagrees with me and thinks that it was appropriate, the things that she said, can go off somewhere.
I don't agree.
You don't speak that way to somebody about anything.
I don't know how it is. I don't know how it is to be raped. I've never felt that. I have experience with that.
And furthermore, nobody even knows if it was an abortion because she was violently attacked and raped. And the next day took the friggin' day after pill, whatever the fuck it's called. What is it? The morning after pill. And just in case
I didn't know that
anything had happened. It was within 24 hours. Nobody even knows if she was pregnant. How dare you speak to a victim of rape like that and then insult her and degrade her in such a way when no one even fucking knows if she was pregnant. She was just doing it as precaution.
So yeah, I see a lot of channels talking about this. It's how Noel feels. I feel like if the lady got an abortion, it's 20-something years ago. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. So people, sometimes you're up here doing lives and stuff. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you say crazy shit. Listen, I'm not perfect. I've done it a million times. But what I will give this person credit for is she talks about God and Jesus a lot. She quotes Bible verses. I respect any creator doing that. Sometimes though you can't be, I guess, holier than thou. And we got to remember. We just have to remember sometimes, being judgmental and stuff. Miss Daisy, I like her. I try to look out for her. I try to stick up for her. But sometimes, man, you get when you have a lot of people going after you, and you have people who are bullying you, and it is affecting you. Hey, man, you got to watch what you say because they're already coming after you and stuff. And man, this thing here, if it's coming to the point where it's affecting your health to do this thing here, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's what I wanted to say in my message. How YouTube works is somehow, some way, what I just said will be sent to her. That's how YouTube works. Just watch what you say, man. And man, don't do this thing here if it's affecting you mentally. I don't care about these morons on YouTube. They don't ever come my way. Sometimes they do. And I deal with it. There's nothing wrong with defending yourself. But if it's affecting you and it's causing you stress, man, it's time for you to be your own moderator and give yourself a timeout. For real. Yeah, something like that. All right, 2023. What are y'all's resolutions? Look, man, 23 for me sucked. Financial hardship. I'm not perfect. I violated my probation, went to jail, put myself, Noel, way behind on bills. But even before that, I was behind on bills and shit. I hate living week to week. I can't stand it. It's a stress by itself. And when I hate finance stress because you'll fight with your significant other about the dumbest shit when you're stressing about finances. I hate that stress. I had a lot of that going on in 2023. 2024, I'm hoping to get up out of that.
Me too. Okay.
For real, because it's been a lot, you know. And I don't do resolutions. I just try to work on shit, man.
Right.
Huh?
No, this is 2023 was a hard year. I never did
Was
a
hard.
resolution. I can't remember the last time I did.
You know,
The only thing I promise is to be the same charming asshole I am today next year.
Biden sucks, man. It does seem like I got less money in my pocket. When Trump was in office, it seemed like I had more money in the bank. Things were easier. This inflation shit is crazy. Everything is mad expensive now, man. Everything is expensive. Like everything is expensive. It's tough, man. I know a lot of people are going through it. A lot of people are struggling just as I am. But man, I hope, you know, I don't do the resolutions thing. I'm just gonna try to work on something and make it better, man. Maybe you know, I'm just gonna try to do better. That's my resolution. I'm gonna try to do better.
3 years in a row?
Do better. All I can try to do is be better every day. 1% better, whatever. Be better. You know, recognize the things that I'm not doing right, that I'm lacking, you know, accountable and stuff like that. Be more happy. Stuff like that. Right, Joanne, when CM did his interview with Ken at the swimming place, she said, it just smothers me. I know she was innocent then. That was a mother's heart talking. Work to make it better. 100%. My taxes have doubled. Yeah, man. Yeah, interest rates. I need some help. If you're a subscriber over here, you don't have to be in the chat, or you could be in the chat. If you watch this rerun, if you own a house, and I need, if there's any homeowners in the chat or subscribe to me, reach out to us. I have a couple questions about some things. This is my first house. I don't know everything to do with house.
What do you want to know?
Well, there's some options that that I'm thinking about. I'd rather say it to somebody who knows about it. Yeah. Yeah. A 100%. All right, real back. So people don't understand what I'm talking about with the abortion thing. Look, there was a live, and there were some things getting said. Okay, about a topic of abortion came out, and then it was that lady Miss Sherry was on Daisy's panel, and then I guess from what I understand, Miss Daisy banned her from her channel or something like that. Whatever. But that's what I'm talking about. It's been on the YouTube streets here and there. People already don't like her, so they took this situation to make it bigger. But there's some things that were said. I didn't know she was a flat earther.
Daisy.
I believe Daisy believes the earth is flat. There's a lot of people out there that do. I'm not here to say it's round or flat. I used to think people who believe the earth is flat are stupid. And then I would listen to people who thought that, and they have some real deep meaning behind this theory. I agree with almost all of it, but at the end, it loses me. At the end, it loses me. So I'm not a flat earther. But it's funny to hear true crime YouTubers speak about certain conspiracy theories, because I'm up on almost every conspiracy theory. A while back ago,
I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I make you crazy with my thing.
a while back ago, TM did, before she ran off YouTube. It's funny that Tiffany never has said nothing since. Let me think about it. Oh yeah, that's right. Anyway, it's she did a live on the guy Ryan Seeking Truth. I think it was a live that says that said he had like a whole bunch of Pinterest followers, something like that. I was in the bushes, and I think it was that live, something like that. in this live, she's reading comments just as I do. And then she's reading comments and she's like, someone's like, oh yeah, he thinks 9/11 was done by America. It was an inside job. And she's reading someone's comment, and then she just reads a comment, and then she's like laughing how stupid that is. And I'm like, man, that automatically made me like Ryan a little bit more because he has common sense. He knows what's going on. And then I'm listening to TM say this, and I'm like, this chick is clueless. But when I hear certain true crime YouTubers talk about conspiracy theories, it's so interesting. It is. It's a prime example of wanting to sniff Candace Wells' crotch and looking for the brown stains in Don Wells' underwear instead of paying attention to the world around you and not this little part of the world of true crime. Like, get up out of their underwear for a second and pay attention to everything. It's interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Ryan seeking truth, yeah. You believe that the earth is flat or that we went to war for money with the whole 9/11 thing. 9/11 is no secret now, people. I mean, just look it up on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. But 9/11, look it up. They don't even censor it on YouTube. Help me keep an open mind. Doesn't mean I'll believe it, but I'll consider it. Yeah, you got to be careful with them, though, because you got to be careful with them, though. They'll take you to a different place. All right, man. Well, we've been on here almost 2 hours. None of y'all said nothing about the families, though, before I jump off here. What do y'all think about the families? The Idaho 4 families saying that they would wish the house was not demolished until after the trial. I'm with it. That's very comment, long gone. Matt, some of these people thrive on drama while life passes them by. That is so true. Wifey says,
That's what I say all the time.
The only person who researches and looks so deeply into so many different things, and Matt has had to listen to my information many times. Yeah, we have separate conspiracies
you
that
tolerate me so well, babe.
we believe different conspiracies. Some of the same. I appreciate that, Miss Joanne. And good comment. If I ever talk about, listen, I'm Christian and I believe in God. If I ever talk about religion, if I ever talk about God, I'm not trying to push anything on anybody. I respect how everybody is, but, I do put polls up and stuff. I put a poll up about religion, God, faith. I put a poll up about addiction. So I try to see where everybody's at before I talk on something. I don't want to ever I used to call everybody woke morons and libtards and stuff like that, but I hate to single out the audience. And at the end of the day, it's not even really about that. What I've learned is there's no sense in left versus right. There's no sense in calling somebody a woke moron. I mean, there's a lot of woke moron creators here on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, but the whole thing is, man, they're trying to divide us, man. It's not even. There's no sense to call somebody that. There's no sense to get yourself aggravated or frustrated with someone else's political view, because at the end of the day, man, these people in Congress and the Senate, man, you see how the bills that they vote on now with social media. they show it all. And man, it's all the uniparty, man. There's only a few people fighting truthfully on each side. There's no even sense to even say it. And, you know, and then you see the games that they roll out behind it. There's no sense in that. There's not even no sense to even waste your energy on it, is the way that I feel now. It is nuts. I didn't see the families rally people to help them to stop it from happening. We couldn't. Oh, I got a video. That's what I'm going to show you. Let me show you this. Really? Oh, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen, Chuck. It definitely happened. It definitely happened.
What did happen?
9/11.
On the Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a front seat view myself.
It definitely happened. It's here it is. 40 seconds in. All right, I'll put this in the chat too. So this is what I was talking about.
Welcome back here on Live Way. Some critics of that decision, including several family members of the victims, wanted the house to remain standing until the suspected killer, Brian Koberger, goes on trial. However, keeping the house standing could have proven to be a, quote, logistics nightmare that does not impact the jury in the long run. That is according to an expert speaking with Fox News Digital. Other high-profile murder cases have involved jury visits.
That dude is getting exactly what he wants. He's a media whore, man. This is, I don't know. He's a nutcase, that guy, Brian. So it was the house demolished because it was unlivable or because of evidence. No, it wasn't unlivable. It was a crime scene, and the college, I don't know if they gave a reason. The college just paid for it to get demolished. Yeah, the second channel, hit it up, subscribe to it. Yes, me too, Danielle. I always take the family's side. I mean, I don't know. I understand people are all excited about this thing getting demolished. Horrible memories there. Horrible crime scene there. Just horrific things happen in that house. So I get it. It's like a, you know, it's good to see it get tore down. But I also understand the families, man. They want this dude, you know. I'm sure they're probably seeking all type the worst punishment possible. You know what I mean? And I hope they get justice. So if this is gonna tarnish, if they think this will tarnish what a juror thinks, and I can see that point 100%. Yeah, they should have maybe waited till after the trial. I wonder how deep that went. I wonder if they tried to rally and stop this, or how that went down. I don't care if it's round or flat. I have to live on it either way. It could be a hexagon, whatever shape it would. Go ahead, speak your mind. Speak your mind, Australian mouth. I don't listen. If somebody thinks the Earth is flat, I have no beef with you. I actually
Here, invite them on panel and let them explain it.
actually
I would love to know their mindset on it, how they think.
there's a UFC fighter. His name is Bryson. What's his name? So there's a UFC fighter. Just type in UFC fighter flat earth on YouTube. This guy will give you a lot of. Does anybody want to come up and talk to us about flat earth? You can have the link. This guy will give you a lot of like facts behind this theory. A lot of like, you know, it'll make you scratch your head. Personally, I think people who think this are retarded. And then I listened to him, and I understand where he's coming from. I understand why he thinks that. But at some point, like at some point I get lost because I believe that I don't know this, but I believe like flat earthers, they don't believe that space is real. Like, you know, space. And stuff like that. I'm with it. Used to be against it. I'm with it, but it gets so deep that it loses me at the end.
What is this Rodney Victoria person all upset about?
Who's upset?
I don't know. You have the comment on screen, but there's like
Yeah.
a couple
Oh,
of comments. Really? Like, what? What are you upset about?
I mean,
just talk about it.
I don't know. Can't make somebody talk.
No, I can't. But if I'm not gonna throw his secret, I'm not supposed to say why.
I think that clip finally finished being. I think the argument with the flat earthers is they're lying. People are lying to you. They want you to think it's round, this and that. It gets deep.
Girl, do you want to go Siberia, girl?
Antarctica is something that I've been watching a lot of YouTube stuff on. Antarctica is weird. You guys know about Antarctica? There's the treaty is almost up. There's like, I think it's like 13 countries that each own. 13 countries own Antarctica. Everybody has like a piece of it, or maybe it's. I forget how many countries own a piece of it, but it's like a pizza pie. No one's allowed to go to Antarctica.
I think, right? 13
Yeah, I think it's 13. Only scientists can go there. Like, you can't buy a ticket tomorrow and go visit Antarctica. You can't do it. And that's where the world ends, or maybe that's where it begins, maybe that's where it begins. Who knows? They say that there's been alien stuff there. There's been talk about a freaking city underneath there's a lot of shit going on in Antarctica, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories. You get time, look into it. It'll kind of blow your mind a little bit. But I'm jumping off, man. We're getting off. Mr. Beast went there. Did he? No. For real? Who wants to buy? Yeah, exactly. Okay, she left the chat. I don't know. I think Rodney went to the beach and got sand in her pussy, but it's fine. It happens. A little shower. It's all done with. Listen, it happens to the best of us. All right, man. I'm out of here, man. I've been blabbing. I don't want to get off the serious subject. I want to leave the addiction part on to explain to people where or how, if these two decide to get their shit together, why it's not as easy as it looks. It's important that that's out there. The Idaho 4 case, I don't cover it that much because I believe that guy Brian Koberger, this is exactly what he wants. The dude wants to be on every magazine, on every YouTube video, on every media source. And, fuck that dude. He hurt a lot of people. And there's families that don't have their loved ones. And he's a piece of shit. But until the next one, guys, if I don't see you guys, Happy New Year. Until the next one. Tomorrow or the next day, I got a video on Bullhorn Betty. It's in my member section now. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to the second channel. Subscribe to Wifey's. Hit the like button and share it. Peace. Cool shot in the game.